I'm ready, bro.
Alright. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Justin Needs a Hobby. I got my boy in here today. My boy Juan Rosa. I said it in Espanol. For you English people, it is Juan Rosa. Did I say it right in Espanol though?
Yeah, bro.
So if you watch any of the other episodes, you have seen that I will say I'll add somebody named Juan something in the background, and this is Juan. This is the guy that I have been talking to in the background of our podcast because he's the videographer for the podcast, and I wanted to get an episode with him because I think it's important for everybody to know who it is that I'm talking to in these episodes. And I think that this hobby is pretty dope, and this is actually gonna be the first hobby to hustle episode that I have on the podcast, and I figured out I gotta do it with my boy. And we're gonna be talking about photography today. So if you are new to the podcast, this is Justin Needs a Hobby. We talk about hobbies. Basically, what I'm trying to do is encourage adults to pick up new hobbies or to do something for fun. Start doing things for fun again and stop focusing so much on work and all that because that's lame, that's whack, and we deserve more out of life. You know what I'm saying? And on this particular episode, some of these episodes are going to be called Hobby to Hustle, and that's where somebody has started a hobby and they've become so good at it that they decided to create some type of side hustle, side business, or career out of said hobby. So that's kind of what Juan has done. So first of all, we'll talk to Juan about what he does and who he is and everything. So like, this is my boy, y'all. I got mad love for this guy. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Juan?
Well, first of all, I want to appreciate you for inviting me on the podcast, even though I'm always here for all the podcasts.
Yeah.
But yeah. So my name is Juan. I don't know, videography and photography is my thing. Since I was little, I guess like I enjoyed like being creative and just in a way. I liked ideas of things that never have been done before, just are different. So I feel like through photography and video, I can do that in a way. And I feel like that's why I studied architecture, and because it's about solving problems through creativity. And I just felt like that was the perfect path for me to take at that moment. But towards the end of like my college years, I realized that that's not really what I wanted to do. Like, but I feel like the 4 years in college were the perfect foundation of knowledge to pursue what I wanted to do. And I feel like college or architecture study helped me learn the skills, both like technical and I guess like mental skills to kind of do anything that I wanted, even if it didn't have to do with architecture. And so I just took those skills and applied it towards just expressing my own creativity. So I feel like through my pictures and videos that I do, that's how I express myself. And I also do graphic design as like another job. And I feel like in that situation also, like I'm expressing myself, even though there's an end goal to something that somebody needs. But through my expression, I'm able to help them, express their visions. So I just enjoy the process really of being creative and all that.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. It's funny how like we all go to college. I know so many people who have gone to college and like we don't end up doing what we went to college for.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. It's almost like, and a lot of people get these jobs at places where their major had nothing to do with their jobs. It's like, well, how important is a degree anyway?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, but no, I think that it's dope that you have been able to find a lane, and you found out that like architecture wasn't necessarily your lane, but you still found a way to get your creative side out, and you also learned enough by studying architecture that you were able to, navigate through that. So what is so you brought up graphic design and how you're able to do like express yourself through graphic design. Like, can you go into more of that? Like, what does that mean exactly?
Well, so when I was studying architecture, we had to learn. I mean, basically, part of architecture school is learning graphic design, because, like, as an architect or as somebody who, architecture is about creating things that don't exist yet. So, and if you want somebody else to buy into your vision of what you think should happen, you have to present it to them in a way where they understand your vision and can get behind it. And graphics is a very important part of that, because if you graphically present to them like an image that makes sense in their head, they're more willing to connect with it.
Okay.
That's why branding and is a very important thing, like for businesses, because people kind of in a way have to understand like who is the business, and you have to present the way you present that to them is through graphics.
Okay, but all right. So when you say graphics, like what is that exactly? Like,
So for example, you see these this art behind you right here.
yeah.
Well, I guess some of them are actual drawings and paintings, but for example, the one on top right there, somebody had to put that poster together. Somebody had to, choose the text, those little designs in the corners, how they were gonna lay it out, for it to be appealing to you.
Okay.
Or like for example, when you buy something from any store like Apple, you always like how the boxes look,
Right.
Somebody had to think about how they're gonna design that to be appealing to you, and then to connect to the overall brand or whatever. But yeah, so graphics really is anything that's like any design that really anything is like like I just don't know, bro. Like there's signs on doors, somebody had to put together that design for the sticker. That's graphic design.
Okay.
You just all kinds of packages and signage and just flyers, posters. Somebody had to design it.
Okay.
Like digitally.
All right. So let's get back into like the photography and videography side of things. So when you said did you notice at an early age that you were into that, or was it when did you realize that you enjoyed being behind the camera?
Okay, so I guess how I mentioned earlier that from a kid I knew I wanted to do something creative.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was the case, but I didn't discover really photography until I was like in high school.
Okay.
So then once I got into it, I was like, this is my channel to express my creativity. Like, because I had tried other things like drawing or painting, just other creative, I guess, like mediums, but photography was where the first one where I felt like I can put out my visions through a picture, or like in a way sometimes a lot of people think of photography of just like you take a picture of something how it is, like there's nothing interesting to it, like like a portrait, it is what it is, like it's a person. Or if you take a picture of like I don't know, a landscape, like it's the landscape, but I feel like for me I try to create images where there's some kind of like layers to it, so that people can become engaged, because when something is just one layered, like you see it for what it is and you keep moving, it doesn't really produce that much thought. But when you add layers to it and complexity, it draws people to it because they want to try to understand it. And sometimes like I don't even understand the pictures that I take, like, or
Really?
why I did them the way I did them or whatever, but it's just appealing. And that's the fun aspect of it. So to me, I guess the post work of the pictures is what I guess where I can be creative, because when I take the pictures, it's kind of just like my base, like what I'm gonna use to create what I'm gonna create. And then sometimes like I'll add layers, or I edit it certain ways to kind of create certain. It's deep, bro. Like feelings.
Yeah. So all right. What feelings do you have to feel in order to know like this is something that I should take a picture of?
I
Or
don't.
how do you, or what is it that captures you in order for you to be like, oh, I should take a picture of this? Or do you, like, what's your lane in regards to like what type of pictures you take? You know what I'm saying? Because I've been on a trip with you, and I you walk around with your camera, and like you'll like just stop randomly and just take a shot of something, or you'll get like all these different angles or something. It's like sometimes I've noticed like it'll just be like a pattern,
Yeah.
like on a building or something, but it won't be the actual like building.
Yeah.
Like me, I would have been like, oh, I'm gonna get a picture of this building, but with you, like you might get a picture of the building, but then you might go deeper and be like, oh, I really want to get like this window, the way this window is shaped or something like that.
Yeah.
Like what catches your attention as far as like photography?
So I guess like how you're saying, when I'm out like shooting, how I take like pictures of parts of a whole, I guess.
Well, no. So like, when you're out doing photography or like what? I guess what type of? All right, maybe a better question is,
Okay.
what do you take pictures of, and what? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know like maybe you do like there's people who are like will pay you like, hey, take like graduation pictures of me or something, or then like what do you take pictures of when you're out by yourself and you're like, I just want to do something creative and get good pictures of something?
I think it has to do a lot with something that I learned also in architecture school, which is like composition. And I feel sometimes what catches my attention is something that to my eye has complexity, like, because I feel like now that I've been taking pictures for a while, like when I walk around, when I look at things, I see them through a frame, like an imaginary frame in my head of what the picture would look like if I took it in this angle or whatever, or like, So
So you're looking through like a camera lens almost when you're out and about.
yeah, because you know how in baseball there's like an imaginary frame where the pitcher can throw the ball.
Yeah.
It's like that, bro.
Okay.
So that rectangle, like in my head, I kind of use that as a base when I'm looking at things, so I can know if a composition might be nice or certain things might look good together.
Okay. What type of things do you take pictures of? That's a good question. I probably should have started there, and then.
Well, I feel like I don't really have. It's just whatever looks appealing to the eye, like when I'm walking around, or sometimes it might not necessarily be the whole thing that looks nice, but a part of it could be nice. I feel like I enjoy like a lot of contrast and just composition in pictures. I just feel like it's a form of art.
Okay, but is that like nature? Is it buildings? Is it people? Or is it all of that?
It's whatever, all of that, bro.
Okay.
I feel like I can't just tell myself I'm only gonna photograph this, because in a way I'm holding myself back from other opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
Because if I say I only like do landscape, then there's a lot of other beautiful things that I can be photographing that I'm missing out on. And I feel like through pictures also I get to, it's like making records of things you experienced.
Okay.
So there's also that aspect to it.
All right. Yeah. I do that too. Like so many of us have like thousands and thousands of pictures in our camera roll or wherever we store them from our phone, of just random things, and like I'll find myself just like going through my own and be like, man, I remember this, and sometimes it's fun to like go back and be like, why did I take a picture of this?
Yeah.
What was this? Where was I at? And then it'll hit you like a day or two later, like, oh, I remember now. And it is kind of cool to be able to go back and look at those things and remember those feelings, that time, especially like back when you're like, if you can go back like 10 years ago or something and be like, man, like this was dope. Like I should probably go back to this area or this time or see if I can go back into that mindset sometimes. Because sometimes it's cool to just be able to experience those memories that we might have forgot and get those feelings back that we might have forgot. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, bro, that you bring that up, because that makes me think that about how I feel like what we were talking about before was just like my abstract perspective of photography. But I feel like what you just brought up is another, like a different layer, like a different type of photography, because I feel the same thing. Like pictures bring back memories sometimes of the experiences you had.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were saying, sometimes you forget that you even did something until you see a picture, and then that picture brings back memories, not just of that moment, but of the moments within and around like that time period,
Right.
So yeah, I think that's a good way to look at photography too.
Yeah, definitely you get those pictures. Like even if you're not, I feel like even if you are not like somebody that you like, you may not ever plan on like being like the type of photographer that like puts your photos out for people to purchase or to see. Sometimes it's just good to have things for your own self. Like I know, I find myself now like I had a grandmother that just passed away earlier this year, and I have another grandmother who's kind of getting older, and she's staying with my aunt now and stuff. And it's like whenever somebody sends a picture of my grandmother, it is like, bro, like I'm like, man, I just hold on to those. I'm like, man, like I don't, you know what I'm saying, like. It's just fun being able to see her, you know what I'm saying? Even though I can't physically be there, it's like, oh man, I'm glad I got to see her, and she's smiling and she's happy and stuff like that. So like pictures do that. They really do bring very powerful feelings and emotions out of people, bro. Even like, especially like if it's somebody that is no longer here, no longer around and stuff. So like pictures can be even if it's just like a picture of a house that you grew up in. They just like little random things like that. They just bring back so many memories and emotions, bro. But yeah, man. So a word that you've continued to say that I noticed is creative or creator. What is it about photographers that you think that like makes you guys so different and so creative? Because like there are people out there, so like there's like the jocks, will say, that growing up who all they cared about was like, playing sports, chasing after girls and stuff. And then there were always like the artsy creative people in school. Like what do you think makes you guys different? And I'm not saying that you weren't a jock, but I'm just saying like what is it that makes people creative? It's a weird question, but like I always wondered that, man, because I personally think I'm creative. Like I feel like I'm in the middle of like the jock thing, but then like also like in the middle of the creative things. I do find art like interesting, but I'm just so bad at it. I don't have the eye. I can't see things through that lens like you can. You know what I'm saying? But I'm having a deep appreciation for it in the people who can see it. You know what I mean? Like I guess I'm asking, how do you know that you are a creative person? Like somebody listening, how would they be able to tell like that they are a creator or a creative person? Well, you look stumped, bro.
That's a pretty difficult question, bro. But I don't know, bro. I think to be a creative person, you have to access a different mind, bro. I feel like a lot of people live, their mind just focuses on the physical, like what it is, not what it could be, because they just see things for what they are. Like they don't really try to understand it on a deeper level. And I feel like through the effort of trying to understand things on a deeper level than just them being what they are, you discover things, and those new ideas help you create your own ideas. And then, creative people always have ideas that other people didn't think about.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's because they, the trying to understand things on a different level gives you some kind of knowledge on a different level. And so whenever you have those ideas, the more ideas you've taken in, the more that you can use to create your own. So, like people who don't like to learn, they're always gonna be the same person. Like, and that's kind of what I'm referring to. Like, you have to have some kind of growth mindset, or just like I'm saying, trying to understand things on a different level. And I feel like whenever you dig into different aspects, it helps you also understand the bigger picture of a lot of things. So then you're just more capable of producing original ideas, because
Yeah. And it's like, like a lot of the CEOs that like the rich people, they're usually creators. Like the people who own and started all these companies, like a lot of people, and I hate to be so cliche, but a lot of people always talk about Steve Jobs, the guy who helped Apple become where Apple is now.
Yeah, he created something that didn't exist before.
Exactly.
And to do that, you have to be creative, bro.
Exactly. Even though people might look at you differently or think you're crazy, you know what I mean? Because most people, we always think, like, I don't know, everybody is so attached to, like, groupthink is what a lot of people call it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whenever somebody, like, nobody wants to think differently. Everybody wants to think the same, and they want everybody to think like them and stuff. But, like, honestly, like, if everybody thought the same, like, we would never progress. And we would never do anything differently, and doing things differently can sometimes be the better way, as we've seen time and time and time again in life. So I think being creative is dope, and I feel like it should be something that people do more and like try to practice more, and I think that's why art is so important. Like I always sucked at art, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's always something I've been appreciative of, because it's cool stuff to look at, and like you said, there's layers to things. So are you one of these people who go to like the museum and like you can spend like hours in a museum just looking at random stuff?
I wouldn't say I spend hours. I feel like I do enjoy going to the museum, but just enough time to become inspired by what I see. It could be, really usually I spend about like an hour and a half max, like in a museum. I don't, like if I walk into a gallery and it just doesn't catch my attention, bro, I'm not even going in there.
Yeah.
But then there's other kind of art or galleries that, I want to spend 20 minutes in there, looking at it, or, So it's not like I'm gonna go through the whole museum and look at everything. I'm gonna just look at what catches my attention in that moment, because I feel like in that moment that's what I need to see, so that's what I'm gonna go see, bro.
Man, what is your like end goal? Do you have an end goal for like your photography, like all your photos and stuff? Like, do you think one day you will put a what do you call it, like a gallery, put like some type of exhibit up or something somewhere with like all your photos, or like some of your favorite photos or something?
Yeah, I've actually thought about doing that. Like I feel like it's like a vision that always keeps coming back to me, like a thought, so.
You should. I think you should, bro, because like I feel like, you can make money if you sell them. Like even if some people be selling stuff for like a ridiculous amount of money, but like some people might sell, or you could sell them for like $20-$40 or something. Who knows? But speaking of like that, so like what, like I wonder how, like the cool thing about art is like sometimes I'll go to like an art festival, right? And it's like somebody will have a gallery up, or they'll have like a little space up, and they'll have pictures up, and you'll see something like it'll be like a picture of like a red dot on like just like a red circle or something, and it'll be on sale for like $5,000 and stuff. And there's what's cool about art is like you cannot tell that person that it's wrong because somebody might look at it and buy it. They might be inspired by it, like you said. I think that's pretty dope. What are your thoughts on that side of art and photography and stuff? Just curious.
Well, I think that it's like how I was saying, when I go into a gallery, I'm gonna go look at what speaks to me in that moment, you know. So I feel like different people feel different ways, because somebody might walk by that same paintings and be like, that looks lame, and keep walking to the one I didn't want to see, you know. But it all comes down to like your personal experience and who you are and how you understand things, you know. So, because like for me, what I like in art is art that makes me be intrigued, like about, or makes me kind of, or like triggers thought in my head, where it's like I start thinking creatively. Like I think that's when art is good, but you know, obviously everybody has a different perspective. So
Yeah.
what to me triggers creativity, and other people would just be like, what is that?
Yeah, right.
So
right.
art is really just subjective, bro.
Yeah, for sure. What is the okay, we talked about the hobby quite a bit, but we do need to talk about the hustle and how you've been able to like monetize this whole thing. Like, how did you turn your hobby into a hustle, man? Like, when did you start making money off of photography? And you can even throw videography in there as well, even though I try to keep this one like more photography focused, because I feel like it's easier for people to start off with photography rather than videography, because I feel like it's like a whole different beast when it comes to editing and stuff. But like, how did you decide and get like your first like gig as a photographer?
See, I feel like for me personally, I don't know, like people always say to, you know, start a business or whatever, you kind of just have to go out and get it. I mean, you do, but, right, you have to actually do the work. But for me, it's kind of like, I did it first because I enjoyed it, like, I genuinely enjoyed doing it as just a hobby. And so I created a collection of work, and then, you know, I put them somewhere where people can see it. And then, you know, or like somebody might ask me if I want to take pictures, and I'll do it. And then, you know, they'll recommend somebody, or like somebody that I know will be like, can you do this? And so I think that's how it starts. And then from there, it kind of just grows. But, you know, you have to keep doing the work.
So like, what type of gigs have you gotten as a photographer, or what type of money? You know, I'm not asking like amount wise, but just like what have you? How are you making money off of like photography?
I've actually done well, one way is for a company that I kind of work for in a way part-time. Sometimes I need pictures or like stock images, you know, that just to use for like, they don't necessarily have to be brand related, but just like as content.
Okay, yeah. Can you explain like quickly like what stock images is? Because the only reason why I know that was because I did a modeling gig where they were gonna be using me for like a stock image. Like, can you explain to the people what that is real quick?
So stock images basically are images that you can, like somebody will take the image and in a way like sell the rights to use the image to another person. So like how you were saying you were a model for a stock image, like the person who took the pictures is the photographer who is selling his stock image, you know? Because you know about like copyright. So if you just use somebody else's picture on something of your own, they can technically sue you. You know, but a stock image is like they're giving you the right to use their image for a small fee.
Okay.
You know, but you still don't own the image, you just have the right to use it.
Okay. So to break that down in layman's terms, even though not that it was like super confusing or anything, but just to go further into it. So like if you own like a business and you start a website, and let's say it is you're a sneaker cleaning company, and you got a website up, and you need pictures of people wearing really clean or really dirty sneakers or something like that, then you would go to this stock image website and find these images of people wearing tennis shoes or sneakers, and you would be able to purchase those and put them on your website, and like you would own the rights to those pictures that you're putting up on your website, so you wouldn't get in trouble or anything. And that's what I think that's a cool way to make some money as a photographer. Like, can anybody just put stock images out, or do like you have to work through like a company?
Well, no. So I mean, I'm not trying to advertise for nobody, but there's a website that I personally use. It's called Shutterstock. So you upload your images, and every time somebody buys it or whatever, like purchases it to use it, you'll get a small commission for it. And all you have to do is upload the images, and if people buy it,
do you get to set the prices, or does Shutterstock?
No, they do it, but it's like it's kind of passive income, bro. You did the work. If somebody likes it, they're gonna pay for it. And
Shoot,
if they don't,
I might put some stuff on there myself.
Yeah,
make a
bro.
little extra money.
Yeah.
Shoot. He said, "Yeah, bro." But what else? Like, have you ever done like? Are you the type of photographer that will like do like I brought up graduation pictures earlier and stuff like that?
I've done some graduation pictures. I've done pictures of like workouts, or just kind of like lifestyle photo shoots.
Okay.
Just
Bodybuilders that are listening, bro, in the Dallas area, hit up Juan, bro. You need them fitness influencer pictures, bro. Hit them up. Yeah, man. But like what else, bro? Like what other ways have you found ways to make money off of like photography?
This is not one that I personally do right now, but I know people who basically take pictures for a place and advertise them on your own page, kind of like an influencer, and they'll pay you for it.
Ah.
Or like somebody will send you products as for you to advertise them through pictures, like on your page.
Oh yeah, so yeah, kind of like an influencer, like you said. Yeah. That's what's up. So like, how? I wonder. I guess obviously, like people would just have to like post quite a bit, like put a lot of content out in order to get their name out there as a photographer and stuff. What so for somebody that is new to photography, maybe they think they see things through a lens. They're a creative person. They think they see things through a lens like you. What are like some good ways to start out? Like, is there like a particular camera that you think? Cause I've noticed like there's like two cameras that people beef over. Like it's like Canon or two brands. Like some people are like Canon, and I think the other one is like Sony.
Yeah.
So like I noticed photographers really be out here like beefing about that low key. Like which one are you? Either of those, or do you?
I mean, my camera's a Sony, bro, but I've had a Canon. I started with a Canon because they were just easier to use. So I feel like if you're starting out photography, like a small Canon camera is the easiest thing to use. And once you know, once you're knowledgeable enough to play around with it on your own, like to try to take your photography to the next level or whatever, you can upgrade a camera, and then it allows you to do more things. It gives you more creative control, I guess.
Okay. So like what, alright, is there like, it's like, I've heard the term point and shoot. Is that just a type of camera or nah? Is that a camera term? I thought that was like, I thought it was a camera.
I actually don't know, bro.
Okay. Oh man, I don't know, man. I must have, my research told me.
Let me see, bro.
Like they was like, they were like, they were like, you can start out with like a point and shoot camera. So I just assumed that it was like, oh, it's just like a super easy camera. You just pull out and just point and shoot type of camera. But like, I don't know, is there like a certain type of camera that people should start out with, you think? Like, I know we got the brand, but like, is there like a particular model or type of camera?
Yeah, so I guess what you just said is like literally right. It's just you point and shoot. Like there's not really much to it, I guess. Like in terms of setting things up. Like this one, the one I have, there's more things that you have to like set up before taking a picture or make sure you get right, settings for
What?
a picture.
So like, do you think people can really get into photography and become professionals and make money through their phone cameras, or do you think they have to get like
No, I think that we're at a time where it's not even necessary to buy a camera because like for
really?
example a camera could be like the same price as the phone, but the phone has almost identical quality. Like even these new iPhones, bro, that come out with like raw, the mode where you could take raw images.
I don't
So
know
it's
that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be honest. Like I got like I think it's an iPhone 10. I don't even know what a raw. I
fine.
don't I don't get I don't have all the iPhone features. Y'all. I'm gonna just be honest. I I was just talking about this with my mama the other day, man. Like I just refuse to pay all this money for these new phones,
Yeah.
bro. So like I'm gonna just rock with my phone until it just stops working. Until Apple's just like, if you don't press the button on that thing, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like my bad. Go ahead, dog.
Nah, I feel you, bro. No, but I think to start out, you don't really need a camera, bro, like a professional camera or anything. I think that phones are good enough now where you could just, if you're into taking pictures, just go out with your phone and start taking pictures. And you're gonna get more into it. Maybe you'll start editing them. And now there's editing software that you can download as an app on your phone, bro. So you don't really need even a laptop to edit pictures. You could just do it all on your phone.
Dang, y'all hear that? Like you can literally, first of all, just start having fun just by using photography, just by pulling out your phone, and then also, furthermore, you can go and download these apps and edit it directly from your phone, make them look even more professional, and then you can go out here and start putting them out on Shutterstock. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's Shutterstock.
Put it out on Shutterstock or any of these other stock type of things, or you can offer them up on like a website. I don't know, but you can find ways to make money all from your phone. Is where I'm going with this, which is pretty cool. Like that's a cool, easy little. No, I'm not gonna say it's easy because I'm sure that editing photos and everything and having that eye for it is different. Like there's effort there, but yeah, man, like that's pretty dope. Pretty dope. I'm trying to think, like, where we at on time? We got a little time, man. Anything else you want to touch on as like from a photography aspect?
Um,
From the hobby side, from the hustle side, what you want to tell the people, Juan?
about photography?
Yeah, or about anything in life, man.
Well, about photography, I just feel like it's a great pastime to just. It's also a good way to go out and explore like like the area around you because if you want to take pictures, you want to go look at things and you're gonna look at things in more detail than you would if you just walk to go somewhere else or
Yeah.
drove by in your car. When you start taking pictures of things, you get more curious about things. So, it makes you want to go outside and walk around and take pictures of things, and you get to clear your mind. You get to access like a different mind, bro. Because you're just out having fun in a way,
Yeah.
not really thinking about anything, just discovering little things, big things.
You know what I should have did? I should have made this part the elevator pitch part, bro.
Well, there you go, bro.
That's the elevator pitch.
Yeah.
All right. Normally on every episode, I usually try to get whoever I'm interviewing to do a 60-second I call it an elevator pitch where they try to sell you on the actual hobby. So that was like the elevator pitch for photography right there from the homie Juan. But yeah, man. So like another thing I always do on each episode is I always make sure to try to give the guest a gift that's either gonna like supplement their existing hobby or maybe introduce them to another hobby.
Yeah.
So I got you a little something, but you my dog. I love you, dog. But like, I was not about to spend $20 to like get a bag for this. So just accept this for what it is, but don't be offended by the gift wrapping. Okay.
It's all good, bro.
Yeah.
What is this? Let's see. I'm high as fuck. Oh, a yoga mat.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy, bro? I've been telling myself I want to do yoga for like months, bro.
Yeah.
Because I have this friend that was actually like she was big into yoga, and she would always talk about how it helps you like be more flexible, like be less in pain, like, and it's also a way of like kind of like meditation. So just a way to be in your own mind and your own body. So I've been wanting to try it, and like I guess now it's my time to start, bro.
Yeah, bro. I literally thought about the meditation program. I know you said you like to meditate and stuff, and I was like, man, I've been to yoga quite a bit, you know what I mean? But like, and I know at the end they normally try to like do like a meditation part of the thing. I was like, man, Juan would probably like that. Plus he's active, he likes to work out and stuff, you know. So I was like, he would probably enjoy yoga, and I was like, man, he probably does it already, but even if he does, you can't have enough yoga mats. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so now,
like you said, it'll supplement one of my hobbies, bro.
Yeah,
because I feel like I stretch a lot. Like I try to stretch so that my muscles don't get tight. I guess just from being just even from living, bro. You have to stretch your muscles out to let them relax.
Yeah.
So I feel like I try to stretch, but I don't really consider it yoga.
Yeah.
But I guess in a way, it's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Because it's just me and myself. Just sometimes I play kind of like some nice music to just relax and stretch.
Yeah, bro. Like you can find like there's hella like YouTube videos or stuff if you want to just do it at home. But then there's also like Black Swan Yoga around the corner here in Bishop. Dot it's like donation based, so you don't have to like have a membership. And then you just come and go as you want, and then just throw them a little money at the end. I don't know how much it is, but it's donation based, so they can't be mad. Like they
gonna tell you have to donate this amount, bro. At that point, you're charging me.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I've never been, but like I'll roll up there with you, bro. I haven't done yoga in well over a year, probably a couple years, but it's really cool. You definitely feel better, like physically and mentally after you do it. So yeah, dog. I had to do an episode on yoga one of these times, man.
You gonna have to get somebody, bro, an instructor. So
I know an instructor. I know an instructor, a couple of instructors. So yeah, man, like we can definitely do that, bro. But yeah, dog, I want to thank you for hopping on an episode with your boy, and thank you for always, helping me on this journey, bro. On this journey of the podcast and everything. I look forward to seeing where this takes us, dog. I think it could lead to some great things. We've definitely vibed well together as partners, like as business partners and stuff. So like, yeah, dog. Like I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes, and I enjoy. Seeing what maybe one of these days you'll actually post some of your stuff on social media so I can see these photos that you take and stuff, because you don't really be posting like that. So like hopefully I'll get to see your work at some point. But yeah, bro. But everybody, this is how can everybody get a hold of you? How can we find you, man?
So I guess really the only place I get on social media mainly is just Instagram. So it's that Juan guy. So THATJUUANGUY. It has 2 U's because the other one was taken when I tried to get it, So I was like, let me just add a U.
Yeah, there you go.
So everybody has to remember that. But yeah, bro, I really just post pictures on there. I don't really post about myself like that a lot, but
Okay. Well, there it is, y'all. Photography, Get out there, get them phones out. Anybody who's been thinking about it, go ahead and jump on it, man. See if something happens, or if anything, just you'll have some cool pictures to look back on someday. So definitely just play around with it.
You'll have memories of when you tried to be a photographer.
Yeah, there you go. Definitely. All right, y'all. We're gonna let y'all go. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all next time. That was good, bro. That was good.